Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. For today's video, I'm going to be doing this look right here, which is my go-to makeup look, as you guys can tell from the title. For this video, I'm going to be using the exact same products I always pick up every time that I do this look. This is a very beautiful, natural, glam kind of look, if you ask me. So if y'all are interested in seeing how I achieve my go-to makeup look, then please keep on watching. Okay, so first things first, I'm gonna start off by prepping my eyelids. I do my makeup kind of a different order than I've seen other people do it. So throughout this video, y'all are going to kind of see the order that I normally do my makeup in, which is the same order I've been doing it for quite a while now. I'm also working with very little brushes today. As y'all can see, this is all I'm working with. These are brushes I've had for a very long time now, so some of them don't even have names on them, but I'm going to do my best to tell you girls what kind of brush I'm using, what kind of brand I'm using as I go along and do my makeup. But like I said, I'm going to start off by prepping my lids, and today I'm going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade 35 in Medium. And to do this, I'm just using a Sonia flat brush. This is the number 110. But you could just use any flat brush that you may already have. Then I'm just gonna go in with another brush and just kind of buff this out real quick. This is also a Sonia brush. This is number 28. And to set this, I'm just going to go in with a little bit of my Laura Mercier translucent powder just to set the concealer in place. This is also the method that I've been using for a very long time. It's what works for me. It's what I normally use on my clients as well when I do makeup. So for today's look, I'm going to be using the Dose of Colors Desi X Katy Friendcation palette. This palette is so beautiful. The eyeshadows are very pigmented. It's a palette you can use when you want to do a more natural look, if you want to do a more bold look. So for today's look, we're going to be using this palette right here, and I'm only going to be using 4 shades in this palette, which is this brown looking shade right here. This shade's called Churro. This eyeshadow right here, and this is in the shade Girl Bye. This brown shade up here, this is in the shade Cheens. And then I'm going to be using this kind of metallic rose gold pigment down here, and this is in the shade Just a Kiss. So I'm going to start off by taking Churro and adding that into my crease and working that upward. And to apply this shadow, I'm just using a Kylie Cosmetics brush. I have no idea. It just says Kylie Jenner on the brush. It doesn't have any number on it, but it does look like this. It has more of like a fluffy end on it, and then a shorter end on the other side, which I would use to like pack a color on the lid with. And you could just take this color as high as you want. I do take this color up pretty high just because I want my look to look a little smoked out. So once this is all blended out nice and neatly, I'm going to go in with the shade Girl Bye, just kind of like that, more of like that rosy maroon color in the palette. And I'm going to be using an Anastasia brush. It looks like this. It also has no numbers. Any eyeshadow palette you buy from Anastasia, it comes with these brushes. So that's the kind of brush I'm gonna be using. And I'm gonna be taking this color and I'm going to be concentrating most of the pigment on the outer part of the lid, and then bringing that into my crease. And then whatever's left on the brush, I'm gonna kind of just use it to smoke it upwards, just like we did with the other color. But we're not necessarily going to take it up as high. And I'm gonna go in with a little more just to darken it up. Then I'm just gonna go back in with that Kylie Cosmetics brush and blend it all together. The next color I'm gonna be using is Cheens. That's the brown shade in the palette. I'm gonna be doing the exact same thing that I was doing with Girl Bye, packing it in the outer corner and then bringing it in, but just not as far. I really just want to concentrate this color on the outer part of the lid and a little bit on the crease. And then again, going back in with the other fluffier brush by Kylie Cosmetics and blending that all together. When it comes to doing makeup, you just have to have so much patience. If there's a color that's just not working with you and it's not blending out, and you feel like you've been blending forever and it's just not working, just don't stop, keep blending, and I promise it's gonna start coming together. That's just my advice. Just keep blending and everything gets better. The next color I'm gonna be taking is Just a Kiss, and that's the rose gold kind of metallic looking pigment in the eyeshadow palette. This color is so beautiful, and just depending on how I'm feeling that particular day, I'll either cut my crease and apply the eyeshadow, or I'll just apply the eyeshadow on my eye and blend it out, which is what I'm gonna be doing today. And normally, to get the best result, I do apply the pigment with my finger, but since I have nails on, I'm going to be using just a flat brush, and this is by, I want to say it's from Juicy Couture, because I was gifted this pink set in this cup right here. So I do want to say these pink brushes are from Juicy Couture. They don't have any numbers on them. I just know it was a gift set that was gifted to me a while back. But you can use any flat brush that you have, and I'm going to be spraying it with a little bit of the Mario Badescu Rose Water Spray. Dang, it barely takes up any. This is why I always try to use my finger. Okay, so once I've got that on the brush, I'm just gonna pat it all on the inner part of the lid. Yeah, and this is where I always use my finger. Okay, so we're gonna try this out. We're gonna try to use my finger. Okay, and I'm just gonna get that. Oh yeah, see? That's a huge difference. Comparing it with the brush. So I'm going to try and put that in as close to the inner corner as I can. And this is another reason why I do my eyes before my foundation, because if I do get any of that pigment or just any eyeshadow, I could just wipe it off without having to worry about messing up my foundation or my concealer. And then with the brush, I'm going to use it to get it further into my inner corner. And once I have the desired amount on there, I'm just gonna take my Anastasia brush and I'm gonna blend it all together. Okay, so now I'm going to be doing a basic winged eyeliner real quick off camera, and I will be right back. Okay, now that we got our eyeliner on there, I'm just gonna clean underneath my eyelid. Make sure there's no eyeshadow or pigment underneath my eyelid and my under eye area. For primer, I'm going to be using the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. Like I mentioned before, this is the primer that I have been loving for my skin lately. And because my nose is a little oily, I normally go in and use the Professional by Benefit, and I apply this on my nose and a little bit on my forehead. But because I do have a sunburn right now and my nose is actually peeling, I'm not gonna put it on today. Next, I'm gonna go in with some foundation, and this is the Matte and Poreless Foundation by Maybelline in the shade 230. And I'm just gonna be using a damp beauty blender to put this all over my face. Y'all know I've been using this foundation for a very long time, and I just can't seem to find another drugstore foundation. I tried the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation a few weeks ago, and I also tried another drugstore foundation. I can't remember, keep forgetting the name of it. But as far as the Wet n Wild one goes, it didn't hold up for me the way I wanted it to, and also the smell of it is, it smells like I'm using actual paint on my face, like paint, the kind you use to paint a room paint. And it's just a very strong smell, and the Maybelline, it's such a beautiful finish. And even though it's a matte foundation, I don't find it too drying for me. But also, as far as the smell goes, it does not smell horrible. For concealer today, I'm going to be going in with the Maybelline Master Conceal, and this is in the shade 40 Medium. I'm just going to put a little bit on like the tip of my beauty blender. Also, I did change up my setup a little bit. Instead of using my ring light that I have been using for a while, I moved that out the way, and I'm using my mirror, my Impressions Vanity mirror, for lighting, as well as my two soft boxes on the side. So I'm kind of testing it out, see if I like this lighting better or if I should just go back to my ring light. But I really like it because I could just mount my camera onto the actual mirror, and then use my small mirror in front of me, but then I also have my big, large mirror in the background for reference, which I love using because I like seeing how I'm gonna look up close, but then I also like seeing how I'm gonna look from a little bit further of a distance. I am having a very good skin day today, and I am loving it. Good skin day, not a good hair day. And then I'm going to apply a little bit of the Laura Mercier translucent powder underneath my eyes. And then just kind of pat that in. All right, Royce. Then I'm gonna go in with a fluffy brush and use this to set my face. This is just a Sephora brush that has no number on it either. But I'm just gonna go in with some Laura Mercier translucent powder and set the rest of my face. Next, I'm gonna go in with another Sephora angled brush, also with no number. And I'm gonna be using the Benefit Hoola bronzer. I have a pimple right here and it's making my bronzer look a little darker. Just right there. Yeah, I'm really loving having this really big mirror in the background to work with, as well as this smaller mirror in front of me. And I'll take some on my forehead. And with the same brush, I'm gonna apply some bronzer. This is a Tarte bronzer in the shade, I wanna say this is called Ornate. It's just a very pretty pink shade. I'm gonna be applying the blush on the apples of my cheeks and then dragging it back just a little bit. Time to open up a new one. The satisfaction of opening a new container. Just gonna take some translucent powder and just carve out underneath my bronzer for a more clean and defined line. And I typically bring this and drag it from the top of my ear all the way to the corner of my lips. And then I apply it and then just drag it downward. Okay, so while I let this sit a little bit, I went ahead and I did my eyebrows off camera, and I finally restocked on my Anastasia brow definer. So this, focus. So this is what I actually used today. And this is in the shade Ebony. So now that I have let this sit, I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe this off real quick. Now for underneath my eyes, I'm going to be using the shades Churro and Girl Bye. And I'm gonna be using this brush right here, which I also don't know the brand. I don't know a number, I don't know anything. I just know it looks like this. I don't even remember when I got this brush. It was such a long time ago, but I always love using this brush for my bottom eyeshadow. So I'm gonna be using this side of the brush right here. So you can use any brush that looks anything similar to this one. I'm gonna be going in with Churro first and then Girl Bye on top of that. Okay, now that I've applied my bottom eyeshadow, I'm going to give my eyelashes a quick curl and apply a quick coat of mascara so I can go ahead and apply my false lashes. I think also, besides the pigment, my favorite part of this look, I have no idea why, but I love the way just having those two shadows on my lower lash line and then putting mascara on top of it. It just looks so simple but so glam at the same time, and I just really like the way it looks. Plus I do have really long bottom eyelashes, so that's just another thing in my favor. So for lashes, these have been my go-to lashes for quite a while sometimes. When I tell you girls that I've given these lashes a run for their money, I mean, I've used them so many times now. These lashes right here, these are the Allure London Vegas Nay in the style Faux Mink lashes. So while my lashes dry, I'm gonna give my face a quick spray of the Mario Badescu Rose Water Spray. For highlighter, I'm gonna be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Ombre-Z highlighter. This has been my go-to highlighter for a really long time, since it came out really. This has been my go-to highlighter. It's kind of broken, so I don't want to tilt it so much. And then I'm just using this Juicy Couture brush that came in that gift set I was talking about earlier. And just apply some highlighter. Not go too crazy. I can go a little crazy with the highlighter sometimes. I like applying it here on my cheekbone, and then I like applying a little bit on the apples of my cheeks. And then I'll apply some on my cupid's bow, a little bit on my chin. And then whatever's left, I just kind of dust it off on my forehead. And then I take my finger and I add a little tiny dab of it on my nose. Then if I feel like I went overboard with the highlighter, because I tend to go overboard most of the time, I go in with my beauty blender and then just kind of tap around so it's not so harsh looking. Okay, I think I gave my eyelashes enough time to dry now. I'm going to just take some tweezers and I'm going to pop the eyelashes on real quick. Just like always, do the center first, then the outer part of the lash, and then the inner part of the lash, and it's that simple. And then I go in and then I squeeze my lashes with the actual false lashes just to make sure they're nice and blended in and don't look like they're fake. Even though they're fake, but make them look like they're not fake. And that's a huge difference from no lashes, lashes, no lashes, lashes. Then for my inner corner highlight and my brow bone highlight, I'm gonna take the same Anastasia highlight that I used on my face, and I'm just gonna put a little bit on my inner corner and a little bit on my brow bone. For my lips, I'm gonna be using the Milani lip pencil, and this is in the shade 04 All Natural. This is my go-to lip pencil. This is what I pop on every time I do this look. And I love this color so much because it's so natural. I guess it's like my natural lip color, but it just makes sure it's all even and I don't have any of like discoloration or anything. So I'm gonna be using this lip color to finish off my look. So I just let it be. I don't put any lip gloss on top of it. I don't put any other lipstick. I don't put any liquid lipstick, nothing. I just use the lip pencil and then do my entire lips with it. And then just to kind of finish everything off, I'm gonna spray a little bit more of the Mario Badescu Rosewater spray on my face. So this is it. This is it for my go-to makeup look. This is the look that I find myself doing all the time when I'm in a rush, just have to go somewhere and I have no clue what I'm doing. It goes good with a lot of outfits. I'd consider this to be more of a natural glam kind of look, but ever since I got this palette right here, the Dose of Colors Desi X Katy Francation palette, this is the look that I find myself doing every single time. So this whole entire look that I did, every single product, every single technique, everything that I use is the go-to products, or the go-to products that I pick up every single time that I do this exact look. But yeah, that's it for this go-to makeup tutorial. I also apologize for not being able to give y'all a proper description of my brushes. I'm working with very few brushes right now and I'm waiting for more brushes to come in, which hopefully they will be coming in within the next week. So with that being said, hopefully the next video that I do film, I'll have a lot of new makeup that I'm gonna be trying out as far as concealers, eyeshadows, brushes. So I'm really excited to film the next video. But because I just used very few brushes, this is all that I was working with today. That just goes to show y'all that y'all don't have to have the best brushes. Y'all can work with what y'all got and achieve the exact same look. Just because I'm using different brushes, my makeup look did not come out any different than what it normally does. But yes, this is it for my go-to makeup look. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe before you exit out my video. Give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if any. And yeah, I'll see y'all in my next video.
Yeah.
I get for not setting my lights right. Oh, there's a bug. What in the world? Y'all see this little guy? Like, where did he even come from? He looks so cute.